What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So let's say you have $450, $500. You're looking for a new device. If you're here in the US, these are probably going to be the main two contenders, Pixel 7a or Samsung Galaxy A54. And I want to just talk about both of these devices and ultimately share with you my thoughts and opinions on them and my preference on which one I would choose. So without further delay, let's dive right in. Let's start off with design and display. Two totally different devices in terms of design, but they're very reminiscent of their older brothers. So design on Pixel 7a, very similar to 7 and 7 Pro. However, the camera visor right here, it's not one seamless piece and it doesn't blend into the aluminum sides. So just keep that in mind. But it does come in 4 new colors, and I love this sea color. If you want to pick up the Google exclusive, which is the coral, that one is also a really nice color as well. Now, Samsung Galaxy A54, it got a pretty significant update in the looks department. It has a glass back with no big camera bumps sticking out. Instead, just like the Galaxy S23 series, the only 3 cameras we have right here, they're separate than last year. Very reminiscent of Galaxy S23. Now, when we head to the front of the displays on both of these devices, this is where things get a little, there's differences. Now, going to preface right here, they both have bezels when you want to compare it to their older brothers. Even though they look familiar in design, the displays, they're not the exact same. Both of them do have bezels. Pixel 7a, as you can see, is more squared off, and Galaxy A54 is more rounded. So 7a is a smaller device, but doesn't really feel that much smaller. 6.1-inch display with a 90 Hz refresh rate, a first for an A series device to finally have a 90 Hz refresh rate. Good, but the thicker bezels make it a larger device. Galaxy A54, a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED 120 Hz refresh rate. That's good. Good job, Samsung. If you can do it, I think Google can do it too. But then again, why would they do that? Because Pixel 7 also has a 90 Hz refresh rate, and only the 7 Pro and their new Google Pixel Fold, those have 120 Hz refresh rates, and that's exclusive for the higher end. So I kind of see why it doesn't. But maybe in the future, they might change things up and older devices might have 120 Hertz. Who knows? I don't know. But if you want a higher refresh rate, you have that option with the Samsung Galaxy A54. They both feel really good in the hand, but Pixel 7a, just in my personal opinion, just feels a little bit more premium. Now let's head into software and performance. Pixel 7a comes equipped with Tensor G2, which is the flagship processor for their 7 series device. It's not like Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 kind of quality. It's still really good. It's not even like on par with Snap. It's just underperforms a little bit less than Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, just a little bit. It also comes equipped with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. And it also comes with 3 years of software updates, so you're going to get Android 14, 15, and 16. Now with the Samsung Galaxy A54, I'm a little upset because they went with the Samsung Exynos 1380 chipset. I wish they chose a Snapdragon 7 Gen processor, but they didn't. Okay, that's okay. 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. If you pick up the international model, you can get 8 gigs RAM and 256 gig of storage model, but in the US, you're stuck with 128 gigs of storage for both devices. However, Samsung Galaxy A54 has micro SD card expansion. Pixel 7 does not, and it also comes equipped with 4 years of software updates. So both of them come out of the box with Android 13, but Galaxy A54, so many numbers. A54, you can get Android 14, 15, 16, and Android 17, whereas Pixel 7a, you're going to end with Android 16. Just do keep that in mind. Now, you're going to say, oh, well, they're both getting software updates 3-4 years, but Pixel 7a is faster, and that's true. You're going to get it much quicker than you are with the Galaxy A54. If you get an unlocked version and there's carrier versions, it does take a little bit longer. Google is just, whenever the software comes out, it comes right to your Pixel device regardless of the carrier. That's a good thing. So if you want to still wait, get that 4 years of software updates, but you're going to wait a while to get it, then I mean A54 is going to be that device for you. But overall, general performance in the software side, they're both good. They're both good. However, Pixel 7a does feel more fluid with Material U. They both have Material U, but the Pixel UI with Tensor G2 feels more fluid. I haven't had any stutters, lags whatsoever, but with Samsung Galaxy A54, I made a video comparing this to its predecessor, and that one was super laggy in my experience. This one, I've had a couple stutters, not too much, but I still think that's because of the Exynos chipset. I feel like if it went with a Snapdragon 7 Gen, or maybe an older like 865, for example, just throwing it out there, it would not have stuttered as bad as the Exynos processor. Now with 8 gigs of RAM, you also can keep more apps open in the background. That's also a plus. Which one would I choose? I'd probably end up choosing Pixel 7 when it comes to the software. Now let's flip over to the cameras. Okay, so the cameras here, they're both good cameras. Just gonna spoil it right at the front, at the beginning. They're both good cameras. Pixel 7a comes with a new camera module, a 64 megapixel rear. However, the photos are pixel binned at 16 megapixels. It does have a larger camera module, so it means more light. It has ultra wide 8x zoom, and it feels really distorted, so there's that. But it's still a Pixel camera, so the photos are really, really reliable. Galaxy A54, we're getting a 50 megapixel camera setup, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro. I've never used a macro up until this point, so I wanted to put that out there as well. Now, in day-to-day use, they're good. They're both good with the necessary amount of light in. They both perform really well. However, it's just like, I like the Pixel photos much better than Galaxy A54. Like, I feel like I'm using a flagship camera. I'm not cutting too many corners, because once you start bringing down the price of a phone, the manufacturer is going to look for ways to cut costs. And sometimes, yeah, they might add a 50 megapixel camera, but it's just not the greatest quality. Like, they're going to cut costs from somewhere, and unfortunately they do cut a little bit of costs from the camera quality. Like, if you want to compare this to S23, its older brother, yeah, it's not going to perform the same, but I feel like I'm getting not the same, but almost the same quality as the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro with the results on the Pixel 6a. So there's that. Now, which one would I personally choose to hold in my pocket if I need to take photos? I'm gonna choose Pixel 7a. Now, up until this point, I pretty much chose Pixel 7a, right? That changes with the battery life. 4,385 milliamp hours on Pixel 7a and a 5,000 milliamp hour battery on the Samsung Galaxy A54. I'm saying A14 so much. A54. Okay, it's A54. Now, Pixel 7a charges at 18 watts of wire, but it also includes wireless charging now, which is a first for the A series device. Galaxy A54 charges at 25 watts wired and does not have wireless charging. Now, how's the battery life? Like, you just threw out battery numbers and charging speeds. How's the actual battery life? So they're both good. Actually, let me put it this way. Pixel 7 is good. Samsung Galaxy A54 performs like its older brother. Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's great. Like, I don't need to worry about charging this device. And look, I'm a heavy user. Like, I'm using my devices for playing games like Call of Duty, watching lots of YouTube videos, browsing the web, emailing, texting, tweeting. And I gotta say, the Galaxy A54 performs much better. I'm easily getting 7 hours of screen on time. And I'm at the point, like, when I need to charge it, it's the end of the day, and I don't need to worry about, oh, I need to put it in charge for 30 minutes and use it again. I can just plug it in charge, or wake up in the morning, plug it in charge, and I'm all set to go. Plug it in before I go to bed maybe, or in the morning if I don't charge it before I go to bed, do it in the morning, and I'm all set to go. Now, 7a, like, it barely gets me throughout the day. The only good thing is, like, hey, like, If I don't have my charger, I have a wireless charger next to me. I can just charge it on that. Granted, it's not the fastest at 7.5 watts, but now I have that addition with the A series device, with the Pixel 7a. But overall, like for me, you can give me a phone without wireless charging, but if it has great battery life, I'm going to be choosing that. And in this case, I'll be choosing the Galaxy A54, especially when it comes to battery life. The last part is going to be pricing. Now, Pixel 7a, 500 bucks, Samsung Galaxy A54, 450 bucks. There's a $50 difference between the two. And it all comes down to preference. Which one would you choose? But for me, like, I think about it, and again, camera for me, like, yes, I preferred the camera over the Galaxy A54's camera, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Design-wise, it's not a deal breaker for me. Software, they both perform great, and I like Samsung's One UI. It's not like stock Pixel, and I like stock Pixel more. But granted, I use a Galaxy S23 Ultra as well, and I love One UI on that device. Like, just because I said I like the design of the Pixel 7a more than the A54, and I like the camera more on the 7a more than the A54, that doesn't mean that's going to, for me, be the deal breaker. For me, I look more about the battery life. Like, that's one of the key things, and the display on Galaxy A54 is just better. It's just better. And battery life. Battery life is, for me, is better because, like, I'm a heavy user. I don't want to worry about charging the phone, or the phone's like at 10%. Oh, I'm scrunching to look for a wireless charger. I don't want to deal with that stuff. Galaxy A54 makes me comfortable knowing, like, I don't need to worry about battery life. Even though I think Pixel 7a just feels a little bit more feature-rich and more toned out, I still would choose Samsung Galaxy A54. However, if you want a much better camera experience, camera quality, you want faster or just general wireless charging, and you want that Pixel software, and then this is it. Pixel 7a is going to be that device for you. But if you like Samsung, if you use a Samsung device, you're going to feel at home upgrading to another Samsung device. And I personally would choose Galaxy A54 because of the battery life and the display. So that's really it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.